Good morning, seventh graders. Well, we're going to be back at it today. We're going to start looking at a new chapter. We're going to start looking at chapter 2 today. So let's just take a few minutes and go through the agenda before we start learning about percents. So you'll see with the setup of the agenda for today, our learning target getting into chapter 2 is I can find a percent of a number. That'll be our first lesson. That's going to take us today and tomorrow to go through. So once you are done watching me in this video, your agenda is going to be, first off, watching a preview of Chapter 2, Lesson 1. And so it's a Math Antics video linked here that will just go over Lesson 1, what you're going to see, what you're going to learn, what you may already know, some prior knowledge. So you're going to start with that today. As soon as you are done watching that, you'll head into your math book, and it says you're going to go to page 103, and you're going to take notes with me. So we're going to start some percent of a number notes today. And so knowing we're headed back into the book on page 103, you are going to need your math book, obviously. You're going to need a calculator. We're still going to use that within this chapter. And your Chromebook and earbuds, obviously. So we'll take notes. We'll start the lesson. We won't get through all the lesson today. Like I said, it's going to take us today and tomorrow. But again, it's on percent of a number. I want to take just a few minutes and talk about Alex. So that'll be your remaining time if you have time at the end of the hour today. It says to keep working on the pre-assessment or the current knowledge check that Alex has placed you in after the pre-assessment. So I know there's been some difficulties with logging in and getting set with Alex. I think at this point, as of tonight, we have all issues resolved. And as of today, I should say. So you should be all set. If you are still struggling to get logged in, please let your teacher know so that I can take care of it, or Mr. Terpstra or Mr. Whalen can take care of it for you. And it should be a quick fix, but I think we are all set now. I think every student should be able to get logged in. I would suggest making sure that you have Connect Ed bookmarked on your bookmarks bar. And we're going to use it often. So you want to be able to have some quick access to that. If you haven't already bookmarked it, if you go into the 7th grade math Google Classroom under class resources, it's in classwork. It's just a few down, it's the third one down, and it'll say Connect Ed website. And so there, the first link will take you to the book. And you should see this interface. And this is where you're typing in your student email, so your student number at monashores.net. And then your password is Sailor6 with that capital S and no space in between. And so when you log in, you should be able to see the Alex bar on the graph, on your screen. Looks like this. And we had talked about in the introduction logging in video last week that if you don't see it, just make sure that you're choosing a chapter and a lesson. And it doesn't matter what chapter or lesson you choose, as long as you have any chapter and lesson picked, then you should see this pie chart pop up. So we're going to use this continuously throughout the rest of the school year. This week, we're going to definitely still make sure that your pre-assessments are getting done. I know some of you just were able to get logged in today and probably are actually working on the pre-assessment for the first time today or in the next few days. So we're going to let that go this week and get everybody caught up and logged in and making sure that it works for you. And then it's looking like probably next week we'll start using Alex as a participation grade, and we'll let you know how many minutes a week. We were kind of thinking around 40, but we'll discuss that one more time and let you know. But no participation grade yet. This is more about making sure that the pre-assessment's done so that Alex can place you in the correct knowledge check to get you going in the program. So as we get to the end of the week, and remember, you're only here through Thursday this week, we'll be keeping track and seeing who's getting things done and if the pre-assessment's getting done and that you're logging in. We do have access to check that. So I'll just give you kind of a quick little, if it pops up here. Nope, logged me out. That's okay, but we can check. So we'll check throughout the week and make sure that you are getting it done. Just realize that we have that resource. And so that way, if there's some of you that are not getting your pre-assessment done this week or not making any progress, we're going to reach out to you and your crew teachers and make sure that everything's okay, and just make sure that there's no reason why you aren't getting it done. So just realize this is something, again, we're using the rest of the year. So please make sure you're working towards that goal of getting the pre-assessment done this week. Okay, so I'm done here. I'm going to let you get going on the lesson 1, the math antics video, the introduction. You're going to start there, and then I'll see you back in a few minutes to do lesson 1 with you. Enjoy the hour.